3 weeks ago, my family sat around our dining room table and read a story that ends at the start of a journey. 40 years of wandering in the desert. Today, we're doctors, lawyers, Hollywood moguls, members of a sinister, mustachioed political elite pulling hidden strings that control the world's media. But perhaps the worst navigators in history. 40 years, less than 500 miles. It's not really wandering at that point. It's more like a slow meandering. It's really slow. Why? Perhaps our story is one of delayed gratification. You know, I still save the best bites of my sandwiches for last. We all know it tastes better when you wait longer. Perhaps our ancestors were just trying to add a little extra sweetness in their land of milk and honey. Or maybe our story is one of rationalization, because you know, I still believe that gym poster wisdom, no pain, no gain, always keep the end goal in sight. Perhaps our ancestors thought deliverance was something only deserved by those that carry hardship around on their back like a heavy weight. Or maybe our story is just one of faulty navigation. You know, there must be some reason for those numbers in the first place. 40 years, less than 500 miles. It's really slow. Why? Our sages say this world is built like that story, that there's a necessary wandering that takes place between the asking of a question and the finding of an answer, that the space between Exodus and redemption looks like a bright blue desert sky. Discipline, that's a narrow path we must walk down, but our hearts, they are set wide like our dining room tables. It's pulsed like a moving satyr, it's beat a divine rhythm that goes in and out like a question and answer. Exodus and redemption, exile and return. Perhaps our story is the story of a people who finally realized where in that place they were standing. Over and over again we return to these same questions. Why? Sometimes the answers come really slow, and I am still wondering. Still wondering why so often we turn our desert journey into a race, like we need that race to become stronger. Wondering why I so often turn my spiritual practice into a suffering contest, like I need that suffering to become harder. Wondering why so often we turn each page in the spiritual texts on our dining room tables looking for forgotten equations, like we need a complicated answer to become smarter. Why? We know the numbers. 40 years, less than 500 miles. I am still wondering how long. Like how long will we hold on to that suffering? How long will we hold on to that hurt, that hardship, that pain? How long will we hold on to anything we think we can use to beat meaning into our hearts? They are set wide like our dining room tables. 40 years, less than 500 miles. How long before we realize it took our ancestors getting lost in the wilderness before they found God? God. A circle whose center is everywhere. There is nowhere to go but in. So give up that gym poster wisdom, that end goal you are running towards, that final destination you are wandering to. You will never get far with so much weight on your back. Do not be afraid to dance on this narrow path. This desert journey, drop your heavy assumptions of ever turning this holy ground into anything more than sand. Breathe this air with me. Can't you hear it carrying the story of our ancestors? It is whispering across the empty space of 2,500 years between us. Our tradition finds so much joy in the unknown. Our ancestors got lost in it. Our tradition finds so much joy in the unknown. Our ancestors got lost in it. May we all be so blessed as to get lost in our search for God. May we all be so blessed as our ancestors, the wandering, still okay with that. Thanks, y'all.